Okay, my first dimension of wellness. Obviously, I had other issues growing up, but the first real connection I made when it came to wellness was with my skin. As a teen, I was training a lot, sweating, and just trying to get rid of my acne. And you know how it is. Acne can be really frustrating and affecting also your self confidence. Back in the 80s, we were told that the key was to cleanse, cleanse, over cleanse. I should probably use the word strip or clean, if I'm being honest. We used all these harsh, irritating products to try to control acne, but instead they left my skin red, sensitive, and honestly worse off. That was my first real introduction to skin health. And by the way, we still use the same ingredients today. But I remember talking to my mom about it. She'd say, "We didn't have acne back in my day." And as a teenager, of course, I just rolled my eyes, like, "Sure, mom, whatever." Given my mother was born in the 30s and that she lived on a farm, it probably made sense. But it's just later that I realized she was right. See, back then, we didn't know about the skin microbiome. That knowledge just wasn't available. It wasn't until I got exposed to the gut microbiome research and saw how powerful these microbes are for our overall health that I made my first major connection. And that's when the idea of my 7 dimensions of wellness, or really 7 connections of wellness, started emerging. I'm Mireille Vega, Dr. Mimi, biochemist, founder of Vegan Biome, and creator of the One Human Skin approach and Protect, Restore, Adapt philosophy. I've spent years studying the connections between our lifestyle, what we do, and what we put in and on our bodies, and how they affect our overall well being. Today, I want to break it all down for you with the first of the 7 key connections of wellness that work together to keep you balanced, vibrant, and feeling good from the inside out. Soon after I realized that our skin has its own microbiome, just like our gut, I realized that that was the key to healthy skin. And instead of stripping it away, we actually need to protect it because that microbiome is what protects us. Of course, the skin is our first line of defense against everything that could invade our body. And its microbiome plays a crucial role. It also helps prevent acne, reduces the risk of conditions like atopic dermatitis, and even has some natural UV filtering properties. That's why we say it prevents premature aging. And I've said this before, but I'll say it again. The secret to balanced, healthy, glowing skin isn't about scrubbing it raw. It's about protecting and nourishing its microbiome. Now, the gut microbiome. It's the immune system's powerhouse. I do get a lot of questions around immunology and skin health. Some people deal with conditions caused mainly by an imbalance in the skin microbiota, like conditions like eczema or atopic dermatitis, where restoring the skin's barrier and microbiome can make a huge difference. But then there are conditions like psoriasis that are almost entirely systemic. Conditions that are driven by inflammation, often linked to the gut microbiome rather than just the skin itself. So, for people with psoriasis, including on the face, the solution isn't topical. They have to look inward. And that's why many people with psoriasis follow a low inflammatory diet. There's a ton of research on how certain food can trigger or calm inflammatory conditions. Of course, making these dietary changes isn't always easy. It takes discipline, but it's worth it. It's also the topic of another connection. Stay tuned. Yes, beyond food, movement and hormonal balance also play a role in managing inflammation. But now, acne is another story. It's multifactorial, meaning it's influenced by multiple factors all at once: the skin microbiota, the gut microbiota, the hormonal system, even stress levels and diet. So, even if you're doing everything right for your skin microbiome, you might still experience acne if your gut health or hormones are off balance. Remember those stressing presentations at the same time as a huge breakout? That's why acne treatments need a holistic approach because it's all connected. The key takeaway: some skin conditions are more localized, while others are deeply tied to gut health and systemic inflammation. Understanding the difference is crucial to managing them effectively. So, what happens when your defenses are down? We've talked about the skin microbiome, the gut microbiome, and their deep connection. We've also established that the gut microbiome plays a huge role in overall immune health. But what happens when your immune system is weakened? When someone's immune defenses are low, they tend to experience more skin issues, sometimes more acne, it's multifactorial, sometimes even Demodex overgrowth. We'll talk about that as well in a special capsule. Now, most people already have Demodex mites on their skin, and it's not an issue until their immune system can't regulate it properly. That's when it becomes an issue. A weakened immune system also affects psoriasis because, again, it is a systemic condition. It's all linked to inflammation, metabolism, and overall immune functions. So, to close the loop on this skin gut connection, let's go back to atopic dermatitis or eczema. Unlike psoriasis, eczema is usually not worsened by a compromised immune system. Instead, it's more localized and heavily dependent on the skin microbiome itself. So, while some conditions like psoriasis or acne can be triggered by gut health and immune functions, others, like eczema, are primarily influenced by the local environment, the local immune system, the balance of the skin's microbiome. Again, understanding these different layers of connection is important. It helps you know where to focus when it comes to managing your skin. Our body, our brain, our heart, our soul, their well being thrives through 7 key connections. First, the double shield. The skin, its microbiome connected to the gut microbiome. The skin gut brain axis also. The power of the mind, intelligence, and mindset, the heart and emotions, and cardiovascular. Regulated by our hormones and balanced through lifestyle, sleep, healthy nutrition, and movement. All in a fertile environment, our soul, our planet. And this wraps up the first key connection, the skin gut immune axis. Stay tuned for the next connection of the 7 dimensions of wellness. Everything is connected. When you work on one of these dimensions, you naturally improve the others. So the key is to simplify and focus on what truly matters. There are things we can't control, but let's focus on what we can and let go of the rest. If this resonates with you and you want practical, simple ways to improve your wellness, subscribe please to this channel. Il va falloir que tu coupes un espace ici parce que là, j'attends le texte. Got questions? Drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And if you're wondering what's lurking in your personal care products that could be harming your well being, I've got you covered with a free guide just for you. Download it now and start making safer, smarter choices today. See you in the next video. Let's make wellness simple again.